Hey guys, Terry here. So here we are with another Quest versus PC comparison of the same game, and this time we're gonna set the benchmark very high because we're comparing one of the best visual-wise games that we had on the Oculus Rift, running on the Crytek engine, and of course made by Crytek themselves. We're talking about not Crisis, but The Climb. It took a while to arrive. It was supposed to be a launch title for the Oculus Quest, but then it got delayed, and maybe you're gonna understand why. This is a big downgrade when it comes from the Oculus Rift or a PC, for example, but this was like the heaviest game that was out there. So it's still impressive the fact that they were able to port it right away. And also I have to give them credit because they didn't just port one of the biggest games out there, but they also went for the cross-buy. So that means that if you had it already on the Oculus Rift, well, you're gonna have it already on the Oculus Quest as well without having to buy it again, like it happened in other games with Saber. So let's get in this comparison. Just be aware that I'm trying to move as much as possible in the same way and really takes long time. So I'm no robot and there's no script for it. So it's just me manually trying to move and synchronize every movement as much as possible. So if you see some difference, well, they're gonna be, but it should be good enough, I guess. You are the best judge, by the way. But you have to be also the judge of the comparison. Let me know what you think about it. What are the things that you notice the most? And of course, at the end of this part of the video, we're gonna do a little analysis together so we can talk more about it. Also, there's gonna be a game key in the video, so be aware. So you can actually play The Climb on your Oculus Quest or Oculus Rift or both if you want. As always, talked a little too much, so let's get into it. Enjoy the comparison. I see you guys right after for the analysis. Let's get into it. And here you have it, guys. This was the comparison between the PC and the Oculus Quest version. And as you can tell, the difference is actually a lot. Well, on a part the game is exactly the same. You have the same mechanics, you have the same kind of climbing, the same levels, where the gripping parts are always in the same places. So if you already know the levels from the Oculus version, the original Oculus version, well, you're gonna find yourself at home over here. But on the graphics, there are much and many differences, and not just the graphics actually. So I want to talk about that part a little after. Now let's talk about what happened to this game. Well, as you can see, the polygon counts is much lower. Even in your hands, they're not as smooth, of course, because they have to keep as much as possible the graphic down to run on a Snapdragon 835. Also, the textures are much worse than the one that we have, of course, on the Oculus Rift. And many things actually disappear from the game itself. We're talking about trees, we're talking about animals, all the insects around, bushes, herb, everything is kind of really brought down to the real basis of the game. Now, still works, as I said, because the game is actually the same, but sometimes like it was kind of hard to find a path with the bushes and everything. It was feeling a little more immersive. Instead now, well, you have always in front of you this rock with this kind of squarish look, and you just have to climb up and up as much as possible. Again, let's be aware that this was the best looking game, arguably, for the Oculus Rift, one of the best looking games in VR. So I don't think it was very easy to port it. We lost also all the lightning, the glares, the dark parts are completely like a kind of dull right now. But what concerned me the most is not actually the graphics of the game, that even if it's like lower down is not really a problem, but it's kind of the feeling of the game that I feel like in this version was lost a little, because having to keep down the graphic, everything animated in this environment has to disappear. For example, everything you see in distance is a 360 picture. It's not really possible to understand it from this video, but it's not actually rendered on the device. It's a pre-rendered picture, even if it's very high quality, so it's not really a problem there. That means that there are no animation. The clouds are always there, the water is not moving, there's no parachutes around, there's no helicopters going around in the distance. Everything is kind of still. It's like if you're playing in a game frozen in time. And coming from the Rift version, everything was moving, everything was happening, insects going around while you were trying to grab something, and birds flying by, people parachuting in front of you, helicopter flying by. It was a complete alive environment to be in. A kind of a relaxing experience with this music and kind of this relaxing vibe, animals going around happening. Instead, in the Oculus Quest version, well, there's nothing on this. You just have to focus on climbing and going up as much as possible till the highest point of the mountain. And well, if you really enjoy climbing, well, that's a good choice. Well, you have a game that you can completely use. But I think in this port, something got missing, and it was something more than just mere graphics, but actually part of the feeling that this game was actually giving. Now, will they still suggest it? Well, of course, it's also cross-buy, as I said, so if you buy it now on the Oculus Quest, maybe in the future you're gonna upgrade to a PC and you're gonna connect it with the cable to your PC and you're gonna play with better graphics without any problem because you already own it. And that's amazing. Also, it's a great game and the only climbing game that we have right now on the Oculus Quest. And I think they did a great job porting it overall, even if there was some stuff missing. But I want to hear from you as well. Do you think that is that important? Do you see the same importance that they see in actually this alive environment all around, or you don't really care and you want just to play this game and climb as much as possible, as fast as possible, and get as many points as you can for the leaderboard? Well, let me know in the comment below. And well, that was all. I hope you guys enjoy it. And as always, if you liked the video, like. If you didn't like the video, dislike. And if you like these kind of videos and you want more of them, I already made some, so check them out and feel free to subscribe in case. It's gonna be amazing to have you over for more video like this one and much more about VR and tech, of course. So again, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Ciao.